This year we're celebrating our 50th year in business, and we want to thank all of our clients for the trust and dedication and efforts that they put forth with us. We hope to live up to all their expectations and to make sure that we're around for another 50 years.
Particularly exciting when you have an opportunity to work in a community that you live in. We go to church here, our kids are in school here. Crown Point historically has been a client for well over 30 years. I think around 2009 was the first time I ever came to Crown Point. I came up to do a survey at the wastewater plant. Had a great opportunity with the company to move over to Crown Point to open the office in Crown Point and become a project manager there.
At Crown Point, we were able to perform probably $30 to $40 million worth of work with just a minor rate increase and get them off of their unfunded mandate with their long-term control plan.
We've had opportunities to work on a lot of water and wastewater work, basically every area of their systems.
So right now, our most comprehensive project is the expansion and enhancement of our wastewater treatment facilities and infrastructure. This is a $30 million project that has been years in the planning, and Commonwealth, not only besides the engineering side, has a great knowledge base of loans available, grants available through regional and at the state level.
We're working on the CSO buildings to treat the CSO before it goes out to the ditch. We're able to take in more flow, we can handle more flow, which means they can build more houses or more businesses.
Now they're in a position to where they're looking to just grow gangbusters, and we're moving forward with a new treatment facility and improvements to the collection system, and it's going to completely transform the fabric of that community.
I've worked with Commonwealth a lot. I have to say we work the most with them. It's a marriage, so to speak, with them, because they stay with you on the project, all the way through the project, and even after the project.
Nappanee probably has the kindest ownership group that you'll ever want to meet.
My first week that I was at Commonwealth, I took a trip to Nappanee to review a project that we were doing on the CSO. Got a chance to meet Gail Gerber. I spent my entire career really working with Gail at Commonwealth. Mark Downey was the former client manager for Nappanee. When Mark retired, the opportunity to manage Nappanee as a client. It was really a great opportunity, and I got to know Mayor Jenkins very, very well, and just have enjoyed working with him.
I was familiar with Commonwealth. They did a few projects with the City of Nappanee, but when I came on board in 2016, it was the implementation phase of our combined sewer overflow.
They had a treatment facility that the flows didn't increase from the time it was built until 20 years later. They were tightening up their sewers, so their loadings were increasing. When they were having issues with treatment, they were violating their permit. We had identified why they were violating their permit and the improvements that needed to occur, and that was a very gratifying project.
They had worked with Mayor Thompson on, what is the requirement for that injunction against the City of Nappanee with the EPA, and what are our options for moving forward. And when I became mayor, it was actual construction time, so we actually got the bond in place and actually did the construction project. So that was my first project as mayor.
Working with Commonwealth, you have people in all sectors of the water industry, from compliance to construction, and I think that's that kind of knowledge that's been really helpful for me in my transition to superintendent.
My dad was actually the street superintendent in early 90s to early 2000. I already had some reference there before I even started, and he just told me all the great relationships he's had with the different people that have worked for Commonwealth. They're kind of like the Cadillac of engineers, in my opinion.
We have done projects where we've gone out and solicited requests for qualifications. On the water and wastewater side, we don't need to do that.
There's a lot of benefits from longevity from a client because we develop institutional knowledge with respect to that community. The longer that we work with the client, the more institutional knowledge we develop, the more ease that we have in solving the problems, and the more economical it is for us to solve their problems.
You really become a technical expert with respect to everything related to their systems.
That advice and that knowledge of our system really helps us to kind of plan for the future and plan to make sure we continue to invest in our infrastructure.
And as administrations change and personnel change, the engineers remain the same.
Prior mayors, they all had ideas, and Commonwealth has been there, involved in those ideas. Therefore, they know what to do. They're usually ahead of us.
For instance, with Crown Point, whenever they look to develop residential subdivisions or commercial entities, we can readily identify if they can accept them or not, where we can make the connections, what improvements need to be performed at what lift stations.
But it's that, again, that relationship.
Jill answering the phone up to where she knew exactly who I was, what I liked, what TV shows, what football team, things like that.
I love when businesses not only are in the city, but they have that great partnership with our community.
That connection, that's the value that's added. I think that sets Commonwealth apart.